Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
What's going on, everybody? You found Bottom Tier Collector. I'm back in the closet again. If you remember year one of the channel, we were stuck in the closet. I was in between homes, and I'm currently in between homes again. So, childhood closet, here we are. I'll probably do a jump cut at the end of this. So for those of you longtime viewers and people that have connected with me throughout my disappearance in the community, I'll let you guys know what's up. So this is kind of a think piece, a floating head video. So if you want to just turn this on the drive or whatever, I don't really have anything to show off. You know, I'm kind of, so this, I'll just be concise. This video, just a think piece about dating and comics. And I want to preface, none of this is about any of you watching. None of this that I'm about to just free flow and say makes me special and unique, makes me better than anyone. No one is broken. No one needs fixing. Don't compare yourself to me. I'm not comparing myself to you. This is just my thoughts and opinions on my life, my experience, and things that I'm going through right now. So dating and comic books. So for me personally, I'm just, you know, my preference in women, in finding a partner, I don't tend to typically get drawn to super nerds. Because, you know, I have a comic book collection. I do watch anime occasionally. I play video games. You know, I'm definitely a nerd, a dork, and that's never going to change. But it's not my whole identity. And you know, I'm also into music and sports and chatty, popular guy things. I like cars. You know, I used to play music. You know, I've got attention deficit, and it definitely shows with my hobbies. You know, I hope to get into the gym soon. Maybe it shows in my neck and my face. I don't know, but I've dropped about 40 pounds this year. You know, I'm really trying to get into fitness as well. And so I do a lot of normie, chatty guy things, I guess you could say as well. So, you know, the dorky thing isn't my entire identity. And I look for that in a woman. I don't typically, you know, you won't see me in a comic shop trying to chat up a single nerdy chick. That's not my thing. So because of that, because of my preference that I tend to go for more, I don't want to call them normie girls, but just girls that they're not huge nerds. I tend to save the nerd stuff for later if it's getting more serious. Cause let's be real. Let's be real here, guys. Our comic books can be chick repellent. So you got, I just tend to kind of show a woman who I really am and try to express that, yes, I like these things, but it's not my whole identity. Like I'm not gonna like quote One Piece on you or anything, or pick my nose, kind of thing. You know, there's more to me than my chick repellent traits, if you will. So I kind of struggle, you know, keeping it comics. I kind of struggle revealing that to women, that I'm into comic books. And here lately, I don't want to say too much because it's still casual. It's still just kind of a going with the flow thing. But I do have a friend that I communicate with, and I got outed. She is friends with a mutual friend of mine. And of course, people going to talk, right? Especially when you're building a new friendship with somebody. And I got outed for being a nerd. And so I just came out with it. I showed her one of my gems in my collection. I was like, here's Here's my chick repellent trait, something you'll have to get over. And, you know, showed her one of my prized possessions, the origin of the Ninja Turtles, you know, and Kevin Eastman's signature right here. And it just goes to show you my experience with that and her reaction to that. It just goes to show you, you really don't have anything you should be hiding with people, you know, even if it's something innocent like, hey, I'm a dork. And I know this, you know, I'm 35. I have plenty of life experience. Definitely have a lot of things to draw from, you know, to help me progress my life moving forward. And this should have been one of them, but, you know, when you want things to go right, you want things to go right, right? But yeah, she moved right through it and wasn't fazed by it. And, you know, I think, I would hope, you know, for us dorky guys out there, it shows the potential that, hey, this is what, you know, this is the kind of fun your kids could have with me. This is the kind of adventurous, you know, fun things I'm into, and I could bond with your kids over this kind of thing. Or if they don't have kids, you know, in your case, if you're seeing somebody without kids, you could, you know, it's showing them, hey, this is the kind of fun, dorky, corny dad I could be. You know, I'm not going to be some boring guy. Let's just put it that way, to avoid trigger words. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to end it here, though. I think I've said everything I want to say about it. You know, just don't hide yourself like I did, which I didn't really hide myself. It's just something I was saving for later. You know, that it's just because comics aren't really my whole identity. It's something I use as an excuse to hang out with my friends. It's something I choose to use as an excuse to connect with you guys in the community. And it's something I just genuinely enjoy by myself. Like, it's not something I have to have a girlfriend or a wife involved with, which is great. And I see a lot of you out there in the community, you know, getting your wives involved, any females, your boyfriends involved, and that's great. You need things to connect with. You need to have hobbies that you do with your partner. And, you know, that's awesome that a lot of you, well, I don't want to say a lot of you, that some of you out there in the community have found a way to move your wife into your dork space. For me, that's just something I don't necessarily have to have because of my attention deficit, and because I'm into like 80,000 different interests. Like, I guess you could say I'm a chameleon, if you will. It's just not something I have to have, because I can make space and get involved in whatever she's into as well. But I do get my kids involved in the comics. I got Owen a little comic book collection and do things that with him. Okay, so I'm starting to veer off from topic. That's just kind of my thing. How do you handle being a nerd in the dating space if you're single, or even if you're married? This can apply to married people as well. How do you handle that with your wife or husband or partner? Is it something you keep private, separate? Is it something you involve them in? Is it something you come out with right out the gate when you meet somebody? You know, kind of like, you know, for me, something I got to come out with right out the gate is, hey, I got kids. You know, is that something you would come out with up front? Hey, I'm into comic books. This is something you're going to have to accept, kind of thing. Just how would you guys deal with that kind of stuff? And then for you guys that are married, again, how do you maneuver in that space with your partner? I'm curious to find out. It's a think piece. There's no right or wrong answer. when I do a think piece, it's just designed for constructive conversation. All right, I'm going to hit that jump cut, and then I will do kind of an update on where I'm at in life for those of you who care.
It's going to be one of those shows.
All right, so late last year, I kind of disappeared from the community. Let's just say I kept a lot of things together for the camera last year. Last year was one of the hardest years of my life, mentally, physically, emotionally. I think I let some of that out in a video recently. So I don't want, or not recently, but in one of my most recent uploads. So I don't want to rehash things. I really don't want to divulge on camera things that I've processed through, that I've worked through, and I've gotten better for it. You know, I'm a better person for my experience that I went through, not even just last year, but over this 12-year journey with this one person by my side. There's no hard feelings. It's very cordial and civil. There's definitely boundaries up for sure, but it's all respect. It's all in love, and this person is still the mother of my children, and just all the best of luck to that person and their life moving forward. I'm in a great space now to be able to share stuff like this on camera now. Again, I don't want my entire business out there on the internet, so I'm just careful about what I'm saying, but keeping it comics, keeping it back to comics. My house, I'm going to be listing soon, was a great financial investment, and I should be walking away from my house, the sale of my house, with a pretty hefty down payment to help me sort of reclaim my life back and start the next chapter of my life. And what that means for the channel is I hope to later this year. I'm not making any promises. I'm not making the 2024 overview video. I just don't want to talk about a very painful year for me, even though I would keep it strictly comics. Let's just say I didn't hit my goals, but I surprised myself last year. I did read 3 omnibus / compendiums. I read Sandman Volume 2, so I've read Sandman all the way through. I read the Spawn Compendium 2, so I've read the first 100 issues of Spawn. And I do kind of agree with old heads on Spawn. The first 50 issues of Spawn are chef's kiss, really great. If you can power through the first 15 issues of Spawn, where it's very 90s, very of the time, very big guys with muscles and pouches and guns, and Spawn's just kicking butt and taking names kind of thing, no real plot. It gets really good. It really gets into deeper stuff. It's really dark and tugs on your heartstrings. And then I feel like Todd kind of jumped the shark after issue 50. I like the slow game. He's still building in the, you know, I'm up to issue 100 now. He's still building, but when I think about where Spawn is now, we're over 300 issues. We got this expanding universe. Spawn feels like a story that should have had a finite ending, and should have been left alone. I understand Spawn is now like a symbol of pop culture, and it's bigger than his story these days. But I think for Spawn to have been a legendary story, should have had a finite ending, in my opinion, instead of just continuing to find a way to continue the story. But doesn't mean I hate Spawn or anything. I'm going to keep reading the compendiums. I think with Spawn, I might sell off my single issue collection. I like Spawn the character, but I don't think I'm just so emotionally invested in Spawn that I need to have the singles anymore. You know, that was a goal of mine to completely collect Spawn. And I think if Spawn was a lot cheaper to collect, I would keep it around. But single issues of Spawn that are not keys are no longer dollar bin fodder. They're now becoming $5, $6, $7, $8, even $10 books. And that's just not worth it to me as somebody who's got maybe 30% of Spawn collected. It's just too expensive for me. It's not worth it. So I'm switching over to the compendiums with Spawn. And then I read, what else did I read? I read one more. Oh, the Lobo not the Fragpendium. That's a different book. I don't know, is Lobo's Greatest Hits or something. The big, huge compendium that DC dropped for Lobo, which was really cool. And I love that it's volume 1. You know, sometime in the future, there's going to be a volume 2. And I'm going to be all over it. And it was really nice. It's just a collection of short stories, which saddens me because I want an actual Lobo omnibus. There's Lobo volume 2 is like 64 issues plus 2 annuals. And I really want a proper omnibus with that entire run so that I don't have to go in here in these boxes and take off tape. I'll be careful with my comics. I don't care that run is dollar bin fodder. It's my life's work. Lobo's my guy. If I sold every single comic book I ever had because I was that insecure about dating a woman over it, I would still keep my Lobo stuff. But yeah, bringing it back to the compendium, it's a fun compendium. Got to reread stories that I haven't read in a while. They had the first 9 issues of that Lobo Volume 2 in there, and that was a treat. That's home to me. That's comics to me, is that the Lobo's 90s run. Val Samik's on the art, totally 90s. The stories are goofy. They're not serious. It's just good bounty hunting fun with great comedy. That's right up my alley. So read 3 compendium / omnibus, and then for 6 months or so I was hard on the New Comic Book Day books, which I no longer do anymore. I don't do New Comic Book Day anymore. I've really just shut down the hobby. I'm still browsing for like mega keys, because with the sale of my house, I might make a little room, a little space for getting some comics that are otherwise out of my reach if I just try to buckle down and save. So we'll see what happens this year, if I have any books to display. Hopefully I do. I plan on going after the most valuable comic book Lobo has this year. It's a German variant of Lobo Batman. I'm not going to put any links to it. I've been watching this one listing for like 5 years. Then every now and then the seller gets bored and knocks like a couple $100 off of it. And one day I'm going to send him an offer. It's going to happen, because I know that I'm just the only one looking at it. And I think that's where I'm at. You know, when the house sells and I come into a decent clip of money, I'm hoping to reclaim my life back, move in to a space somewhere. And I'm hoping to get back into the community. Maybe I can pick up some steam and get back on the budgeting stuff, collecting on a budget. Maybe I'll get back into New Comic Book Day books and take Little Man up to the comic store. Who knows what the future holds? That's a beautiful thing about life, is it's whatever you make it. You don't have to make the terrible experiences in your life your identity. You can choose to have a positive attitude. You can choose to have a good day. You can choose to continue to be the best person you can possibly be every day. So that's some wisdom I'm dropping on everybody in this video. That's where I'm at. I haven't gone away. You know, I still pop in to 22 Comics Monday Alternative sometimes, and you'll see me sometimes on Fanboy Prime's Saturday morning stretch. But again, I'm just kind of, me and comics are on a break right now, so I'm not just heavy in the community right now. But that, you know, that fervor for life is coming back. And as I regain my capabilities to collect again, I do plan on getting really back into the community again and engaging with all you guys. So I'm not dead. I haven't gone away. I'm just taking a break for the moment. Until next time, guys.